It might be a huge concrete jungle, but our capital is full of parks and gardens like this one. Just half a mile from the North Circular, it's all abuzz. So there are bumblebees and honeybees, both great pollinators and therefore crucial to us in terms of growing our own food and sustainability. And of course, nowadays, you can't seem to turn a corner without bumping into someone who keeps their own beehives. And more hives must mean more honey. This is the roof of the award-winning Bermondsey Street Bees, and they've just won the Great Taste Small Artisan Producer of the Year award.
They're 4 stories up, so they're well out of the cars, human traffic, dogs, cats. They just are sitting up there on a rooftop, on their own, free to come and go as they please. That's where the trees are up that high. That's where the forage can be reached very easily. So they're in a terrifically good position. A little view of Tower Bridge in one view, Shard in the other. I think they're very happy girls.
And why is your honey so good?
The bees make the honey good. Healthy bees will make good honey. And so we make sure that we give our bees an environment where they're able to thrive. We have good forage in the area. We plant incremental forage in the area. And we absolutely leave them to do what they do best, which is make honey. So low intervention, high knowledge is the formula for a successful beehive.
This beekeeping lark has really taken off. I'm in Piccadilly, right in the middle of town, and this is Fortnum & Mason. It's been here since 1707. And guess what they've put on their roof?
2006, we saw some magnificent beehives on the rooftop of the Paris Opera House. And we thought, actually, we can produce honey here, and decided to construct beehives exclusively for us and pop them up here on the roof. We find that our capital's honey is so interesting in its flavour profile. It's quite different to the honeys that we buy from around the country and indeed from around the world. It being a very polyfloral basis gives such a unique dimension to this honey.
Fortnum & Mason is surrounded by buses, buildings and some rather nice shirt shops. So where on earth do their bees get their nectar from?
We think they mostly go to the royal parks. We've got St James's Square just almost below us, St James's Park not too far away, Buckingham Palace quite close by. They generally fly in a 3-mile radius to here, but we think they can go up to about 5 miles. We don't have empirical proof, but looking at the flavour profiles of the honeys coming back, you can kind of judge roughly how far they're going.
So what does central London honey taste of then?
Generally we do find that the Piccadilly honey has a very much a lime-based flavour, depending on the year, because if you imagine, honey is very weather dependent. If it's a cold, rainy spring, the bees aren't going to really go very far foraging, and that's when the lime trees are in blossom. So if it's sunny at that time of the year, we'll get a really lovely lime-based honey. But if it's later in the summer, they'll be feeding on other trees around.
So London honey tastes great because our bees have good places to go nectar gathering. So can we rest assured that our bees have a safe future?
London bees have got a terrific environment to live in. I mean, the city is full of greenery, it's warmer than the surrounding countryside, there's lots of forage. But there is a problem. And the problem is forage availability for bees in London. We have the densest population of bees in London recorded in Europe. So if you take, for example, my apiary here, in a 10-kilometre radius, the official government statistics are that we have 2,500 beehives in a 10-kilometre radius here in the middle of London. There isn't any way in which you can have healthy bees without a healthy nutritional flow. And the fact is that London hasn't been growing its green spaces, and that the bee population continues to grow. So at some stage, that precious and delicate equilibrium risks being broken.
So our honeymakers are going to need more food. Luckily, gardeners like Yvonne Oliver are already on the case.
I love them, and I've learnt now the sort of plants that they like. And they like simple flowers,
They can't get into the double ones, for example. They can't get the pollen in there. The colours and the things that I like seem to be the things that the bees like. But now I would put things in that I know are bee friendly.
And which are some of the ones here, the flowers that actually you should
Right,
plant?
well, there's that very dramatic purple lobelia. Then there's the veronicastrum, which is that white one there. The salvias, all the different salvias. And that one right at the back, which is a eupatorium, or Joe Pye weed, it's called in America. It is usually absolutely swarming with bees, bumblebees and honeybees.
So all things considered, London bees are doing rather well, but it's up to us to help them by making sure that our gardens are bee friendly. Because after all, not only are Londoners helping to save the planet, but also we're able to taste honey like this. And it's beautiful.